This is one of my favorite self-love spells. Never hurts to have a little extra self-love. Hi everyone, I'm Fairly Theta. I'm the founder of Moon and Majesty. I hand make all of these candles as well as other ritual tools that you can find on our site, moonandmajesty.com. Today I'm going to show you how I use our red and black double action skull candles to unblock and then call in self-love specifically. You might have seen dual action candles in occult stores or metaphysical stores in pillars. They're usually one color at the top and one color at the bottom to help you work with a variety of goals at once, whether it is unblocking and then calling in an intention, or, banishing and then purifying. There's a lot of different ways that they're arranged, but they're usually in straight up and down pillars or jar candles. Skull candles are specifically used in magic to change a mindset, to represent a person and then alter their state of mind. There are a lot of ways to work with that very idea, but I wanted to specifically use these candles to unblock your own mentality, to help you get into a different state of mind. Right now, we have 3 different varieties of the double action skull candles. There's the black and the green to unblock and then call in new growth and opportunity. There's the red and the yellow, which is to call in love and abundance. And then there is the black and red variety, which we'll be working with today to unblock and then invite in love. So the first thing I always do is select a dish and I will put my candle in the center of it. Make sure you're working with a fire-safe dish, something that is not going to shatter if it gets too hot. Obviously, you're going to watch these. These aren't going to be left unattended. Because this is a dual action candle, we're working with 2 intentions at once. They are related, they go together, but ultimately there are 2 intentions, and the herbs and the correspondences that we pull from are going to reflect that. The first thing I like to do once I have my candle set up is to write out my petition. I'm going to be using a red pen, because we're working with an energy of love and passion and sensuality. And we're going to use a piece of unbleached paper. I have torn this from a grocery bag. I've torn the edges so that there are no machine-made edges. So you're gonna take your red pen and you're going to write out your full name. And you're going to do this 3 times. 3 is a number that brings a big Empress energy to it. It is the sensuality of the physical world. It's also a strong creative number. So once you've written your name 3 times, you are going to come up with your intention. Something like, I project confidence and love myself deeply. Something like that, that is concise and definitive and in the present tense, most importantly. Because even if it's a feeling that you don't really have at the moment and you're looking to acquire, you want to act as if you already have it in your life, you already feel it deeply, you're already experiencing it. So once you've come up with your phrase, you're going to turn your paper clockwise 1 time so that your name is now going down the page instead of across, and you're going to write your intention 3 times across your name. So it creates kind of a tic-tac-toe pattern. You're going to circle the whole thing with your red pen. This is important to do in red, specifically because the color red does correspond to love and passion and the fiery emotions that you're looking to call in. By circling it, you're really emphasizing that energy as completely encircling you and your intention. I like to put a couple herbs in my petition paper just to emphasize, again, my own intention. And again, because we're looking at a double action here, this isn't just about what you're looking to call in. It's also about the banishing of what has kept you from being this intention. Cloves are something that you might use to gain command, to emphasize your authority in a situation. So I'm going to use this to emphasize my authority over the intention that I am working with. No other energy is allowed in this space, and in fact, I am banishing it from my life and this work very specifically. I'm also going to use a pinch of coffee grounds, which I really like to add speed. Typically, when you fold a petition paper, you fold it in a direction that corresponds to whether you are bringing something in or removing it. But because we're kind of doing both, we're going to use both directions. We begin by folding away because the first part of this spell involves banishing. We then turn it counterclockwise and fold it one more time away from us. We're going to turn it clockwise, opposite of the direction we just used, and we're going to fold it again towards us. And one more time, we're going to turn it clockwise and fold it towards us. So now we have this tight little brown packet, and this will go under our candle dish. This is a spell for self-love and sensuality, and we're going to be using more fiery herbs for that purpose. We're going to start with ground ginger. You can use fresh ginger if you'd like. When you work with herbs, you also kind of want to think about what kind of plant they are. Cinnamon is a bark. It is the skin of that tree. So it's thick, it's woody, it's fibrous, it's very grounding, even though it is still hot and spicy. So we're going to use it to bring a grounding energy, but still be lively and exciting. And everything in circles because you are containing an energy on this plate. Now we're going to use some apple slices. Apples are sacred to Venus. They were actually, once upon a time, considered a very saucy fruit. So I have 6 apple slices, 6 specifically being a number of harmony and balance. Because even though we're working with this fiery, passionate, sensual energy, we're doing it in a way that we want to be sustainable. We don't want this to burn out too quickly or be like a flash in the pan. We want this to be a lasting work. So I'll lay out my apple slices. We're gonna use a little fresh basil. This is for the banishing portion. Basil is another great all-purpose herb, but in this case, we're using it for the cleansing property, the more purifying, sacred energy of it. I actually pour this wax with herbs and oils already inside. The black wax contains patchouli and basil, as well as cedar and a few other herbs, but it never hurts to double up. And something like basil is such a beautiful energy that you can use it without issue so many times. And now comes the messiest part. Honey is very popular in love spells because you are looking to gain favor. The phrase goes, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. You want someone to be sweet to you, you use something sweet, even if that someone is you. Using my finger, I stir the honey clockwise while thinking about my intention. In this case, calling that sensual, self-love energy into my life. The confidence, the sweetness, and I'm going to drizzle it over my entire plate. You've got honey all over your finger. You are going to engage in the same sensual energy that you are looking to call into your life by licking the honey from your finger. It's really important that you lick the honey and don't wipe it off with a paper towel or go run your hand under some water, because it's kind of the antithesis of what you're looking to do. The final step here is to take some rose petals, just sprinkle them over the plate as well. Now we light our candle. Beeswax is much harder than other waxes, so you want to make sure you give the wick enough time to really ignite. So light from the base of the wick. With work like this, it's very important that you reflect on the work itself. That means that you are going to want to sit with this work as long as possible, to watch the flame, to watch how the wax falls, and feel the blockages melting away with the wax as it drips. Once the top melts down, then your reflection becomes pulling that energy in, feeling yourself flooded with the energy that is pooled inside this work. That's why we worked in this circle, to contain this energy so that you are the only one who can bring this into your sphere, to kind of suck the energy from the space that you've created and use it as a source of fuel for yourself and your intention. You do not want to extinguish the skull itself by blowing out. That you want to snuff. This is something that you can work over and over again anytime you feel that you need a little pick-me-up. You can find this and all of our other candles at moonandmajesty.com and all of my spiritual consultations and readings. I hope to see you there soon. Thanks so much. Bye.